Well, a very good morning from day number 34. Almost there. About 10 miles to do today and about 10 miles to do the day after. You can just see Leonard over there packing his tent away. Morning, Leonard! He was cowboy camping outside, and I kind of cowboy camped right there, just underneath this structure, just on the edge of it. There are these tiny little bugs that are flying things, and they're kind of halfway between a midge and a mosquito, and all you hear is this, and then they're at you. And basically they just didn't stop the entire night. So Leonard tried to sleep outside, but ended up putting his tent up because they were just biting him too much. I kind of made do. They maybe weren't getting me quite as much there. I can just see one flying around now. But I ended up putting like my buff partly over my head and covering my ears, and it was very frustrating. But it was a really, really clear night with a full moon, and it was, to be honest, it was almost daylight the entire night. Hello everybody. So a little update from day 34. Leonard and I made it to Lancashire. We sat outside at a nice little cafe in the square, had some breakfast together, which he very kindly treated me to, and he wanted to walk the last section on his own, which is completely understandable. So I left him in town and set off on the climb. It was a 500 metre climb out of town. I've done the lion's share of it. Let's see if we can turn you around and show you a bit of this countryside. So that's the crest I've just summited there. On the other side of that is the descent to Lancashire, and then this is just a little ascent to, I believe it's going to quite an impressive looking monastery that's set into the hillside. One, it looks to be a really nice building. Two, it looked as though it was in the shade. And three, there's a dirty rumour that it's got some cold water, which at the moment, seeing as though my shirt is actually stuck to me everywhere, there is sweat just pouring off me. We actually thought this morning when we woke up and we started walking that because we were near the coast, it was going to be a little bit cooler, but whether it is or not, I don't know, because that climb has just, well, it's just been insane. It's been crazy. I don't think I've ever sweat so much. I am extremely happy that I've got a half day today, because I certainly don't think I could do another 10 miles to Cap de Creus today in this heat. So I get a good rest up, tonight, go for a drink with Leonard to celebrate him finishing, and say goodbye, and then it's down to the business of finishing for me tomorrow. But just look at this. Completely different scenery to what I've been used to. You can kind of make out the mountains in the distance. But yeah, what a trip. So this is La Porta del Selva by night, if you like. It's about 8:30 p.m. Just popped out for some food, and the temperature is now bearable, whereas before it certainly wasn't. It was absolutely roasting. There were people playing volleyball on the beach, which I just couldn't understand. I didn't get to meet Leonard tonight, unfortunately. His campsite was a little bit too far out of town, and he kind of got in quite late as well. So we just exchanged a few messages. Kind of mixed feelings about tomorrow, but actually quite looking forward to finishing the trail. Good morning to everybody. Day number 35, the final day. Here's a great big cannon on the beach. So yeah, it's about 8:45 and I'm leaving El Port de la Selva. Sat on the beach for a bit last night and just listened to the waves. It was very relaxing. It's a lot quieter than it was yesterday when I arrived, but it's a really pretty place. It's really nice, and already it's very warm. But I've got about 9.5 miles to do today to the end, so I'm just going to try and enjoy what's left of the hike. Really looking forward to getting to that finish point. Well, good morning again. It is another scorching day. That is the area that I've just come out of now. It's all Cap de Creus. It's a big national park, and there's been a decent bit of up and down, but nothing major this morning. The hills are they are just little hills now, basically. I've just met another chap. He's got his tent pitched in Port de la Selva, where I stayed last night, and he's just got a tiny little bag with him, and he's going to walk on to Cap de Creus. I've been walking with him for about 15 minutes. He's going to walk to Cap de Creus, and then I think he said take a taxi back to Port de la Selva. It's his 30th day. He's been walking every single day for 30 days. It's crazy. It's crazy fast. But yeah, his English wasn't all that good, and my Spanish is terrible, so the conversation was kind of a bit awkward, and I didn't want it to last until the until the lighthouse, which I think I can just see. You won't be able to make it out on the camera because it won't zoom enough, but there is a lighthouse straight bang in front of me there. That must be what I'm headed for. Basically, yeah, the Cap de Creus, it's like a big peninsula, and where the walk finishes, it's the easternmost point of the Iberian Peninsula, which sounds really cool, actually. There's like a cafe there and stuff. I was looking last night to see how I was going to get from there to Cadaqués, the town where I have to stay tonight. And it's either going to be a 7-kilometre walk, or there is a chance that there may be a bus service on the weekend. The Spanish guy I just spoke to said he didn't think there was, but when I looked on the internet last night, it did say that on weekends after September there were buses to Cadaqués, so it'll just be a case of wait and see. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick drink, a bite to eat, and carry on moving, because now that I can see the lighthouse, that's kind of spurred me on a little bit. This is it, folks. This is the end point, the easternmost point of the Iberian Peninsula. I've made it, I've done it, I've actually completed something. 510 miles across the Pyrenees in 35 days. You can see people out enjoying the water sports. There's a little shelter here to sit in. There is the Spanish chap I said about. He's right on the last marker there, just getting his photographs. I've just done that. So I guess all that remains is to say thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the journey. I hope you've enjoyed some of the scenery and the photographs and the videos. It's been a pleasure hiking it most of the time. Met some really nice people. Stayed in some fantastic places and seen some great sights. Generally had 35 fantastic days, apart from when it was raining. But yeah, it's been great having you all along, and like I say, I hope you've enjoyed watching some of the videos at least, if not all of them. And hopefully, if there is another one, I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and happy trails.